Terra Viva, a checkup on the environment. New York City. Fashion Week has only just ended, but in the city that never sleeps, nor does the clothing industry. It is estimated to generate more than $300 billion turnover each year. The industry's carbon footprint is no less impressive. So a growing number of designers is trying to find alternatives by making fashionable rhyme with sustainable. One of these new brands is Loomstate. The cotton used is 100% organic. Other new materials are also used, such as Tencel, which is made of wood pulp. Rogan Gregory and Scott McKinley-Han founded the brand in 2004.
In my view, there's no compromise when you talk about design. So I don't believe I'm using a subpar fiber. I believe I'm using the best fibers. From a fashion perspective, we don't really make any compromises in the design. I would even argue that organic knit is softer and better quality than a conventional.
Our next stop is Brooklyn to meet young designer Daniel Silverstein. Beyond using organic material, what matters to him is to limit waste. Nearly 1/4 of the material used to make a clothing item is wasted in the process. So he's found ways of recycling it.
These pieces on the front are applique, and they come from all over the garment. As you're fitting the piece, you have little scraps that you just can't quite fit in somewhere. You have to scoop out a piece for the neckline. You have to cut a hole where the arm will go through. And what do you do with those pieces of fabric? Well, normally you throw them away, but instead I make them into the pieces that I think really make this dress unique.
Outsourcing is not excluded, but not at any cost. So & Dave is a brand that produces clothes made in India by local artisans. The techniques used are traditional, but the design is modern. And behind the brand's success lies a perfectly oiled communication strategy.
There is a market, but the market needs to be trained. We have to tell our story, how each process and how we design them. And then we got the appreciation, because when we tell our story and the fabrics, the textures, I got a great reaction from the buyers and the markets, but it's a lot of storytelling.
While the eco-label is meant to give added value to the item, it is not supposed to be the selling point. Designers want to shed the old cliché of green fashion being uncool.
It should never look as though the clothes are ethical. It should always be the surprise fact behind them.
People want to look stylish and they want to look good, and being eco-fashion is a benefit. We don't want them to buy because we are doing good thing. We also want them to buy because they love our styles and they really want to wear them.
Eco-chic is going mainstream, but how to make sure that environmental consciousness is not just a marketing gimmick? Integrating strong standards has become essential. One of the most high-profile examples is the Higg Index, launched by a coalition of 80 brands.
The movement now it's becoming much more technical, more scientific. We can prove what the impacts are. So it's moving away from the romantic idea and the, sort of saying altruistically that we need to do good. It's not a do-good thing, it's a smart thing.
Being both smart and trendy, as the fashion industry makes it increasingly easy to combine the two, it looks like sustainable fashion is a lifestyle trend that's here to stay.